大家好，那么接下来让我们有请 Luke 和 Piers 带来他们的数据云之战。右上角呢，等会儿大家会看到二维码，也可以扫码进我们的群，有什么问题都可以在群里面进行提问。而且微信群里面也还会有那个活动结束以后的抽奖，欢迎大家踊跃参与。
Hello everyone. So today I'm here to take you through the topic of war of the data clouds. So we're basically going to look at cloud technology in relation to data analytics and how that's progressing in the current day and age. There's a lot of interesting stuff here because cloud technology is moving so quickly. Let's jump into it. So we have up on the agenda, we have a brief history of data analytics. Then we have traditional data analytics, real-time and IoT data analytics, and which cloud should you use in China. So I'm Piers Sinclair, and I'm a senior software architect at SSW. And I have a blog on China and development in China. I'm very interested in the China ecosystem and how things work over there. So I'm always interested in learning more about it. Luke, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So hello everyone, I'm Luke. So my Chinese name is Mao Piers. I'm a software architect from SSW, and my favorite thing is to traveling, and my favorite city is Chongqing, and the picture you see is taken in Chongqing. Yeah, that's all.
Awesome. So now let's jump into a brief history of data analytics. So when data analytics when data was first around, first coming out, we had relational databases. And this is basically how we structured our applications behind the scenes and put all the data and structure of the data in there. And that was really great for having applications and using our data in applications, but it wasn't so great at analyzing the data and visualizing that data and creating metrics and things like that. So companies started to move towards a model of doing extract, transform, and load. And what that process involves, it's also called ETL, is we would actually take data from multiple different sources, and then we'd transform that data, and then we would load it into another single source of truth. And by doing that, you could actually collate data from different sources and then perform all kinds of analytics on it to actually figure out insights. So after that, we had big data come along, and big data really allowed you to do this in large volumes. And that was something that before was fairly limited. You could only really do this kind of data analysis on a small amount of data. And then after that, the cloud came along. And what the cloud did was not only did it stop you from having to use on-premise, but it also provided you with a lot more flexibility around, because you could scale up and down, and there was not as much barrier to entry for smaller companies. Additionally, it also gave us powerful functionality around real-time analysis and IoT and stuff like that. So what's the data cloud story today? Well, there are a number of very positive things. Firstly, there's a lot of offerings. So there are a lot of different services out there, and they can do many different things for you. They give you many different capabilities, basically. So anything you want to do is getting closer and closer to being able to do all of that. They're also extremely powerful. They do things that just a few years ago were unheard of, basically. There are a couple of downsides. Mostly it's a little bit confusing around how much it's going to cost you to do these kind of things. And everyone has different costing models as well. And it's quite hard to compare both the costing models as well as what the different solutions offer. So one cloud provider versus another, it's not clear what the difference is all the time. So now let's delve into traditional data analytics and compare two clouds there, Azure and Alibaba Cloud. So Luke, would you like to take away the explanation of this one?
Yeah, sure. So let's talk about traditional data analytics. So the first, we need to collect the data source. Then we use some powerful data visualization tools to help us better analyze the data. And those two, it will help us improving our decision making and also optimize our IT process. And next, let's first look at a video about the data lake. Later, we will discuss about compare the data lake from the Alibaba Cloud and the Azure.
但是如果今天有一个人觉得说披萨店里面的蔬菜可能不够新鲜，或者是呢想要加点比如说中式的腊肠，虽然可能是个黑暗料理啊，但是披萨店里面没有这些选项，那你就不得不把这些原材料买回家之后自己去做披萨。在购买原材料的时候呢，你可能会选择去超市购买，也可能你会去农贸市场，甚至你直接去农场去买，或者说自家后院里面种的菜拔几颗。在这种情况下，用来存储这些原始材料的仓库呢，其实就是数据湖的概念了。数据以各种形式从各种来源进入到数据湖，以原始数据的格式存储，用户所访问的呢就是原始的数据，而不是处理过后的数据。通常呢，专业的数据分析师啊，或者数据科学家，他们是希望能够访问到原始数据啊，不是被别人已经处理过之后的数据。这样呢，他们能够从原始数据中提取出他们所需要的信息。还有一些做数据审核相关的工作呢，也是需要能够访问到原始的数据。总的来说呢，数据仓库就是输入的数据要先经过处理，变成一个固定的数据模式，按照这个预先设定好的格式处理完之后存储起来。用户需要从中去提取数据的时候，就是从已经处理好的数据中获取自己需要的数据。而数据湖呢，它是说输入的数据是直接以原始的格式储存的。那这种输入的数据有可能是一些数据仓库用的那种结构化的数据，也有可能是一些半结构化的数据，而且呢，也有可能是一些非结构化的数据，比如说电子邮件啊、文档啊，还有可能是一些二进制的数据，像是图片啊、音视频等等。那需要用到的时候呢，你就从这个湖里面把它提取出来，进行处理之后，获得你所需要的一些数据。
So next, we will talk about the Alibaba Cloud Data Lake Analytics. We will list some advantages and disadvantages. So the first advantage of it is serverless. So it means that you will pay what you use, and also it has zero downtime. And the next, it has built-in ETL, which means for extract, transform, and load. The third is support the multi-source data federations. And the next, it has cloud-native ecosystems. It will help you to analyze the data using some BI tools and SQL client tools. And the next, let's say some disadvantage about it. So it's less available internationally, like it's not available in Australia. Okay, next we will see the pricing of the Alibaba Cloud Data Lake. So it has two ways to pay for it. One is pay per byte, and one is to pay per compute unit. Let's first look at the first one. Yeah. So if you want to pay per byte, you need to purchase before you use it. So for 1 year, it will take around 114 yuan per month. And if you purchase more than 1 year, and you will get discount. And the next, if you decide to pay per compute unit, so for every TB data, it will cost you 28 yuan. And for the every GB data, it will cost you 2.8 cents.
So now I'm going to take you through Azure Data Lake Analytics and the pros and cons for this one. So there's a lot of pros for Azure Data Lake Analytics. It's serverless, similar to the Alibaba Cloud offering. It's very secure. they have their own language that they've developed called USQL. Now, this is a really interesting language because USQL, it combines C# and SQL into one language. So it gives you kind of the best of both worlds in that sense because you can do both C# and SQL code in one. And finally, it has seamless integration with Azure authentication. And that's going to make your authentication process really smooth and easy. There is one rather large disadvantage, and that is that it's not actually possible to host this in China at the moment. You would have to host it in a Southeast Asian country or Japan or somewhere else in order to be able to use it in China. And that will likely give you much worse performance. So there's also the pricing of Azure Data Lake Analytics, and Luke's going to walk us through exactly what the pricing model looks like.
So you also have two ways to pay for it. One is to pay by hours, and one is to pay by months. And for pay by hours, you need to pay like 40 yuan every hour. And for the months, the price is $146 1 month at least.
So now let's jump into real-time and IoT data analytics. So let's have a look at that. Real-time and IoT data analytics is really all about getting data in real time and doing immediate analysis on it. So we might have data coming in from sources as we speak, and then we can see exactly what that data means and then get insights about it on the fly, which is really powerful. And IoT is about getting data from all kinds of sources that wouldn't traditionally be data sources. For example, you might get something from a fridge, or from a suitcase, or from devices on a mine, or from a supermarket. You can get it from any area, basically, any device that has a computer chip. So let's jump in and have a little look at what exactly IoT is and why it's great.
什么是物联网？物联网的概念首次出现在比尔盖茨1995年《拥抱未来》的书中。1999年，美国艾斯顿提出“物联网”一词，透过资讯连接实体物件与虚拟数据，并且透过逻辑计算与通讯技术的革命，促成了各式产业的结合。物联网是在网际网络的基础上，利用各式感测设备，将任何物品与网络连接，进行讯息的交换，构造出覆盖万物的 Internet of Things， 使人类达到智慧生活的状态。
So that was a little bit about why IoT is awesome and kind of what it is. And now we're going to jump into some of the offerings. So one of the major competitors out there is Alibaba Cloud Real-Time Compute for Apache Flink. And Luke is going to just walk us through that and what exactly that's all about.
So let's first look at the advantages. So it has batch and stream processing unification. So what it means is that it uses the same engine and APIs for batch processing and stream processing. So it will simplify the development. And then next, has ultra high performance. So it is said it has 5 to 10 times faster than the original Flink. And next, it has exactly once semantics. So it's a mechanism to ensure that no duplicated data is processed and no data goes unprocessed. And the last, it supports the circuit language, and it has an online development tools, and also it supports user-defined extensions. As for the disadvantages, so obviously this version is for Apache Flink, so it has a strong dependency on Flink. So you might encounter some Flink problems and you need to have a knowledge about the Flink. And also it's only available in Asia and European. And the last is not serverless. You need to maintain the instance yourself. Next, let's look at the pricing of it. So as you can see, it supports 3 main areas, 2 in Asia and 1 in European. And the cost per month, it will be around like $180.
So now let's jump in and look at Azure's offering. And they're a bit of a competitor to Alibaba Cloud, although much smaller in China. And they have a lot of really great stuff going for them, actually. For example, it's fully available in China, unlike their other offering, Azure Data Lake Analytics. It's fully serverless, which is awesome. It's very secure, and it uses SQL, which is a language that we're all familiar with, I'm sure. And it integrates very nicely with developer tools. So it's also very performant, and it's very reliable and it has 99.9% uptime. And finally, you can actually leverage machine learning to detect anomalies within your IoT devices. So what do you think about that, Luke?
Yeah, I'm not sure about anonymous means. It has a Chinese translate. What does it mean?
对，那个就是异常，所以你可以使用机器学习监测异常。对。
你可以说中文。
就一点点。
好的。
所以我们来看一看，有一些Azure Stream Analytics 有一些缺点，比如在中国IoT 禁使用，你只能用 SQL，你不可以用别的语言言语。我们也有一个视频，可以看一看怎么做那个机器学习监测异常，所以来看一看吧。
So this is a MX chip device that is widely used in the IoT circles. You can buy it online. We also have a SDK for it that you can program using Visual Studio. And in fact, Microsoft has a SDK for you to develop your cool projects using this MX chip. And the good thing is MX chip gives you various different types of sensors. It has sensors for temperature, humidity, and what we are going to use today is the accelerometer, which is simply X, Y, and Z coordinates being tracked on this particular sensor. Right. And what I have on the screen here is a website from where you can actually leverage the SDK and buy this MX chip toolset.
Okay. So can we see the real data that's coming into this and how it's being analyzed?
Absolutely. So what you have on the screen are 3 different parameters that are being tracked on Power BI. One is the Z-axis displacement as tracked by the MX chip. And then down below we have an anomaly, yes or no. One indicating that there is an anomaly, 0 being no anomaly, and then the score associated with every event that the model is processing. Okay. So what I will do now is just move this MX chip a little bit in order to disturb the XYZ coordinates. You can assume that this is very similar to a vibration being felt in a turbine, and you may want to slow it down or you may want to stop it. So I'm just going to move it a little bit and rest it back where it is. Okay. And within a few seconds, the data gets processed by the Stream Analytics, and you will see that there has been a Z-axis displacement and an anomaly was duly detected using the machine learning algorithm.
And that was only a couple of seconds to have that information figured out.
Exactly.
It's an earthquake. Sorry. I just wanted to see what that would do. So that information takes 1 or 2 seconds. The accelerometer is being sent to Stream Analytics, and then you're going from Stream Analytics into Power BI, and there it is.
Exactly.
So what does that function look like? What's that code look like?
The function is going to be really simple. As you can see, we are getting time and z-axis from the device, and then this is where the magic really happens. You have spike and dip algorithm that I'm using. I'm managing and monitoring the z-axis, and I'm indicating a 99% confidence level, telling the model that for something to be an anomaly, the model needs to be at least 99% confident. And 500 is the number of events I want that model to learn from before it starts scoring. And I am suggesting a time window of 120 seconds.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
all.
That's all you had to do.
That's all I had to do. And then I'm just going to push my output into a Power BI dashboard.
And then when you do your selection there, that's basically projecting that data, and then you use Power BI to get your real-time dashboard.
That's it.
This is the kind of thing I could put together in a fun weekend.
Exactly.
This is fantastic.
好的，下面我们来介绍一下 Azure 流计算的价格。那我们首先的话看一下国际版的价格。那针对标准的流式计算的话，那每小时的话会大概花费8分左右。那针对 IoT Edge 的话，那每台设备呢1个月的话会花费6元左右。那接下来我们再看一下中国版 Azure 的价格。那中国版 Azure 的价格呢，那其实跟国际版的相差不多，是7分每小时。
所以你们现在可能会想，在中国应该用哪一个云服务呢？下面我们请 Luke 来介绍一下，在什么情况下你会选择阿里云？
好的，选择阿里云呢，主要有4个原因。就首先第一个的话，阿里云相对于 Azure 的话会更加的便宜。第二点的话，它的云生态更加的完善，因为阿里云在中国市场的话会有很多解决方案，那它会在它的云市场上都能够找到。那第三点的话，那就是对于开发者来说呢，它会有更好的中文文档。那最后一点的话，阿里云的话是一家中国的公司，那它在中国的话会有更多的数据中心，更加的稳定可靠。下面让 Piers 介绍一下为什么会使用 Azure。
在中国为什么用 Azure 云数据平台？第一点，如果你们已经在使用很多微软的产品了，那可以选择 Azure， 它能够帮你实现与微软产品的无缝集成。第二点，如果你们主要做 .NET 开发的话，那 Azure 会对你们更适合，更加友好。第三点，如果你们做的是国际业务，那 Azure 可能更适合你，因为它有更多的海外地区支持。所以 Luke 你可以总结一下。
好的，下面来总结一下。首先第一点的话，我们可以看到传统数据分析呢变化非常快，那从以前比较传统的，然后现在逐渐发展向云上发展。那第二点的话，我们可以看到实时分机还有物联网技术，那是一项比较新兴的技术。第三点的话，我们可以看到阿里云和 Azure 的话是2大竞争对手，他们在中国呢各有自己的优缺点。那第四点的话，主要是说阿里云的话呢，它价格的话会相对便宜，然后因为有更多的服务器在中国呢，会相对的比较稳定，并且的话对开发者的话，它有一个更好的中文文档。那最后的话就是说，如果你使用了大量的微软产品啊，或者使用 .NET 开发，那或者需要跟微软产品做集成的话，那 Azure 会更加适合你。
Thank you.